Hello, welcome to PRICOM Design. My name is Steven, and today we're going to be looking at the Dream Player MK2. Okay, here's our setup. We have a Dream Player MK2 and a button board. This button board is just here to demonstrate the characteristics of the Dream Player with the control inputs and control outputs as displayed by LEDs and buttons. So one big feature of the Dream Player MK2 is the ability to control 4 different inputs and 4 outputs. So you can have up to 4 different tracks on here, and you can have 4 different buttons, 4 different motion sensors that can be connected via the input side. Now you can also supply power to the control inputs via these 2 terminal strip positions on the bottom, but if you're not supplying power to those inputs, make sure you jump those, otherwise the Dream Player will not understand the inputs. So we have a ground and 4 different control inputs. On the other side here, we have the 4 outputs. Here's our voltage wire going out, and we have the 4 common wires. Then we have 2 extra positions. The nice thing about the MK2 as opposed to Lite is the optically isolated inputs. So for example, if you're a model railroader and you're using DCC to control this device, there's a lot of extra noise on that DCC system. So what these optical isolators do is control the noise coming in, so that way it only listens to the regular voltage and you don't accidentally trigger. And on the output side, we have this handy dandy output driver chip. So if you hook up something that's definitely not designed to be connected to the Dream Player, this output driver chip will blow, and you can change it, and it's in the socket, so it's really easy to change. If you buy our Dream Player MK2 starter pack, this chip is included in that starter pack. So continuing on, another feature of the MK2 is the ability to run off of DC power as well as AC power. So this Dream Player MK2 can run off of AC or DC power. The nice thing about if you run off DC power, the polarity of the wires does not matter, since they can run off of either AC or DC. It still has the standard stereo jack, and another feature of the MK2 is this dip switch. So if you want to take advantage of some of the features but don't have access to a computer, or just don't want to take the SD card out and have to go through all that trouble, simply use this dip switch to set different positions. All these positions are explained on our website, as well as in the Quick Start user manual. You can control things like looping mode or auto start. Settings like that can easily be set on the dip switch, in addition to the configuration file, of course. And that's pretty much all the features that are different between the MK2 and the Dream Player Lite. So let's go ahead and try this with our button board to demonstrate the different inputs as well as outputs. So we have our button board with, guess what, 4 buttons. And on this button board we also have 4 LEDs to correspond to the inputs and the outputs. So we're going to go ahead and play track number 1.
Track number 1.
You can see I pushed that button number 1, it played track number 1, and the output number 1 was on as designated by that blue LED. And let's go on down the line and try number 2.
Track number 2.
And number
track
3.
Number 3.
And of course
track
number 4. So that's actually really easy. All you have to do is hook up the buttons or motion sensor, whatever you're going to be triggering.
Track number 3.
And you can trigger up to 4 different sounds. A couple other things that you can do with the Dream Player MK2 that we can't show you with the physical unit is actually on the configuration file. There are certain settings that only work with the MK2. For example, multi-random mode. In multi-random mode, you can have up to 32 different tracks. Although you can't select individually those 32 different tracks, you use these buttons down here to select different banks, for example. Button number 1 can play tracks 1 through 8, and so on and so on. If you want to learn more about that, we have another video on how to use multi-random mode. And that's pretty much the basic overview of a Dream Player MK2. And there you have it. That's the Dream Player MK2. Look on our website, www.PRICOM.com, for many more videos on how to use the Dream Players. For instance, things like the motion sensor, or advanced configuration file things like multi-random mode. We have videos on that. Or if, for example, you have situations that you'd like to use, will this work with my Dream Player? Should I use a Dream Player MK2 or a Dream Player Lite? Just contact us and we'll be glad to help you out. Never know, we might be able to make a video out of it. So until next time, this is Steve with PRICOM Design. Enjoy your Dream Player MK2.